It's been said that some of the highest viewed videos on YouTube are still music videos. Simply scrolling through the music section of YouTube seems to confirm this. So, people still do want to consume video content when it comes to music. That's actually super encouraging, as I myself have always been something of a music video connoisseur. But as with my last couple of videos, there was certainly a time when viewing video content by your favorite artists was nearly impossible if you wanted it on demand. You kind of had to just get lucky enough to catch it on a cable music video channel like MTV or Fuse. As I mentioned in my previous videos, when certain retail stores still sold CDs, there was also another fascinating form of physical media that often occupied an inconspicuous corner of the store: visual music media. Starting off as VHS tapes and then being overtaken by DVDs, visual music media was another level of awesome that added so much more to the music experience. Stick around as I talk about the magic of visual music media. This is Dancing with Ghosts. From my various experiences with visual music media, there were 3 different categories that you could expect to find at an FYE or Best Buy. There were the music video compilation DVDs, the concert DVDs, and a category I like to call miscellaneous oddities. First, we'll be talking about the music video compilation DVDs. These were super cool because music videos weren't an on-demand service in the 90s, and even when they became that way in the 2000s, the quality was usually poor and the selection was scarce. So when record labels started releasing music video compilations, it made the convenience of consuming your favorite artists' video catalogs possible. I remember gathering around as a family as we churned through a block of Weird Al Yankovic music videos via his Ultimate Video Collection DVD. And it was great, but there are just so many other examples of things like that happening. Palm Pictures was a company that released music video compilations that were lumped together based on the work of various music video directors. These were the legends in their field who often went on to direct feature films. Directors like Michel Gondry and Mark Romanek went on to direct a couple of movies I really enjoyed, such as The Eternal Sunrise of the Spotless Mind and 24-Hour Photo, a movie which has got to be my favorite portrayal of Robin Williams as a dramatic actor. Then you had complete oddball visionary directors like Chris Cunningham, who did the music video for Aphex Twin's Come to Daddy. Which is still one of my favorite music videos of all time. Before these music video compilations, sure, you may have seen a few music videos by Daft Punk, Metallica, Primus, or the Smashing Pumpkins, but have you seen all of them? Now you can! In fact, there was some weird shit buried inside these DVDs that is pretty much exclusive to the disc itself. The Smashing Pumpkins had a short film, for instance, for a semi-forgotten song off their Machina album called Try, a short film, that at the time I thought was so edgy, I just wanted to show it to all my friends in middle school. It dealt with a homeless couple battling the ravages of street life and drug addiction. The drugged out cutaways are uncanny valley as fuck and became super macabre. Also, there isn't exactly a happy ending. There was no way you could have known to look for this on YouTube unless you already knew it existed from having bought the DVD. That's not even to mention all of the goodies and bonus features you got from these pieces of physical media that were pretty much exclusive to the format. The second type of music video media you would find in a music store was, and I would argue still remains relevant, the live concert DVD. Seeing as many artists and festivals will never make it to your neck of the woods, the concert DVD remains a very viable way of seeing your favorite artists live, in the comfort of your own living room, with your swanky 5.1 Dolby surround sound and comfy couch. One could argue you can find all of this on YouTube, which maybe sometimes you can, but it's going to be a super compressed trash heap compared to the uncompressed formats you find on DVD or Blu-ray. When I first started watching YouTube, I really only went to consume music videos. Kind of ironic now, huh? But back then, I thought 480p was a garbage quality when it came to music videos. That was until I realized that YouTube compresses the ever-loving fuck out of not only video, but also audio. Uncompressed 480p video really doesn't look that bad, believe it or not. I would attempt to show you what I'm talking about, but unfortunately, this video was uploaded through YouTube. One of my personal favorite concert DVD gems would be the Beach Boys live at Nebworth 1980. It was a rainy, dour night in England, and the Beach Boys were already in the back nine of their career, having muddled through the 70s without the direction of their fearless leader Brian Wilson. By 1980, the Beach Boys were seen as has-beens. This was obviously before Kokomo. So when the Beach Boys reunited with bandleader Brian Wilson for the Nebworth show, it was really something special. I mean, you gotta love the outfits, the cheesy yet undeniable talent of this band, and just the fact that this was a band doing everything organically before eventually relying heavily on hired guns to handle much of the tougher vocal bits. Drummer Dennis Wilson played way too fast during this show, oftentimes making the Beach Boys sound more like a punk band than a 1960s surf rock group. I recommend giving it a watch. The Beastie Boys' Awesome I Fucking Shot That was a concert DVD where 50 fans were given camcorders to shoot the group as they performed at their sold-out Madison Square Garden show. The footage was then meticulously compiled into one master edit of madness that gave a rare insight into all the various ways an audience experiences a concert. This was before smartphones, needless to say. Then you have the classic Woodstock 94 and 99 DVDs that gave you an insight into the madness that was the Woodstock experiment of the 90s. I made a whole video on those events many years ago if you'd like to check that out. And I made mine way before the Netflix documentary. And I go way more in depth on Woodstock 94 than they did. They barely even touched on 94 in the whatever. Then there was the 1998 Family Values Tour DVD, which introduced most American audiences to the insane hijinks of German industrial band Rammstein, and featured a nascent Limp Bizkit who were right on the verge of becoming megastars. Korn headlined this tour at the apex of their cultural relevance and exposed many audience members to bands and rappers that they would probably have never seen otherwise. Thanks, Korn! Then there was the Kissology series of DVDs, which chronicled the various decades of Kiss's epic career. My personal favorite was Volume 3, which featured the epic reunion of founding members Peter Criss and Ace Frehley. This reunion was a cash grab for Gene and Paul, make no mistake about that, but it was also a way for Kiss to start selling out arenas again. Their career was kind of in a slump around this time. Peter and Ace's careers had also gone down the tubes by the mid-90s, as had their playing abilities. But watching Peter and Ace struggle to accurately play their parts through each and every song was way more rock and roll and authentic than anything Gene and Paul had done since the 1970s. You can't talk about epic concert DVDs without mentioning the Talking Heads Stop Making Sense. I mean, even if you're not a big Talking Heads fan, which I'm kind of middle of the road on them. But this was shot more like a concert film rather than your typical stadium shoot. The performance starts out with singer David Byrne alone on stage with just a ghetto blaster, gradually adding more musicians and set pieces onto the stage until eventually the whole thing is filled out with a cavalcade of musical ear candy. Honestly, when it comes to live performances committed to film, the list can go on and on. Michael Jackson's Live in Bucharest, The Police's reunion show in 2008, Pink Floyd's Pulse, Nine Inch Nails' Beside You in Time, Rammstein's Fockerball. I'm trying to limit the length of this video and my editing that I'll have to do later on, or else I'd spend all day talking about all these amazing performances that I'll always have committed to physical media. That is until disc rot happens, which is a real thing. It happened to my Genesis music video collection, but thankfully, I was able to replace the disc before it got too expensive. Final section I'd like to talk about when it comes to great visual musical media is just the bizarre shit you'd find at a music store that you had no idea even existed. Electronic music stalwarts Daft Punk released a short film called Electroma, and it was a thing that was released, that's for sure. That's about the only comment I have about this film. But this same group commissioned an anime wunderkind, whose name I'm about to butcher, called Leiji Matsumoto, to make a whole-ass animated film that corresponded to every single song off their album Discovery, which I thought was brilliant. And I'm not even a fan of anime. Then, of course, you had the classic album series released by Eagle Vision that would have various megastars break down their classic albums many decades after the fact. Oftentimes, they would replicate the various notable moments on their classic albums. Elton John's Tantrums and Tiaras documentary was a super candid look at the inside life and times of Elton John in the 90s and how, well, he could be kind of a cunt sometimes.
I get like 7 o'clock in the morning to get here and I'm fucking person leaves my fucking clothes in the car. Well, what the fuck's going on?
I know, I mean that is an excuse.
It's not a reason to spoil the chances for the album.
I could give a fuck. I make music, I don't fucking make films. I hate fucking videos, they're fucking loathsome. And I tell you this, I am not doing this video.
One of my personal favorite artists, Peter Gabriel, released a documentary of sorts that chronicled the mid-period of his career in the early 2000s, which is something that would just never exist today. So yeah, this type of content will never be released again. Why? Because TikTok and Instagram stories and Facebook Reels, bro. Yeah, we have unlimited exposure to these artists now, and they feel pressured to constantly release little bits and pieces of their lives in 30-second chunks instead of a more curated, long-form experience that's actually worth sitting down and watching. I couldn't care less about a 30-second reel with my favorite guitarist laying down a 15-second guitar riff, yet that's what bands are doing now, our band included, Dancing with Ghosts. I would much rather see a longer, more in-depth look into a band's dynamic or writing process, but here's the world we live in. I harped on it last time in my former videos, but the point remains the same. All of you have the attention span of a gnat's dick, apparently. Well, not you watching this video, especially if you made it this far, but I don't know, like Gen Z, Gen Alpha. Are millennials old enough to start blaming all of our problems on them yet? Well, too bad, I'm doing it anyway. This is probably the last in my Old Man Remembers the Good Old Days series of media and videos because I don't particularly want to linger on how things were. I guess I just want to highlight just how much things can change in the span of 2 decades, which of course sounds ridiculous because that seems like a long period of time, but listen here, you young whippersnappers, it's really not that long of a period of time. It goes by faster than you may think. But what about you? Did you have some good experiences with physical music video media? If so, let me know. I'm dying to hear what DVDs you held dear to you at a younger point in your life, or maybe still do. I still watch a lot of my music video DVDs because it's just easier than finding and making my own YouTube playlist. But anyway, until next time, have a good rest of your night.